The 2009 Playboy Mazda MX5 Cup Championship was all about the 84. Todd Lamb took that car and its number to a record 8 straight wins in the season crown. Lamb now has moved on, taking with him the 8, but leaving the 4 and the car in the hands of Brad Rampelberg. Last week, the new driver made a last-lap move to put the new car in victory lane. Can anyone beat the 4 car? We'll find out. The Playboy Mazda MX5 Cup, round number 2 at Road Atlanta, and it comes your way next. Welcome to Road Atlanta. We're in Brazelton, Georgia for the Playboy Mazda MX5 Cup. Today is round 2 of the 2010 season, the mini weekend at Road Atlanta. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. Elliot Forbes Robinson alongside, and Derek Bertasiglio has our coverage today down on pit road. Last couple of years, we've opened the season at Road Atlanta. Instead, this year, we opened up at VIR a couple of weeks ago. Round 2 here today. Elliot, a young driver we met up at VIR, struggled there after being fast. He's got it sorted out here.
He does. He had a slight problem up there, Matt Pombo did, but this is his home track, considers his home place, and he's ready to go, putting it on the pole and showing what he could do. He did it even without a draft.
Well, Derek Bertasiglio has more on some of the key players we'll be watching today. The 2 drivers who fought it out for the win at VIR, they kind of struggled in qualifying. Here's Derek.
Last week, Dean Copeland ran at the front of the field all race long, had trouble in qualifying today. Dean, what put you back this far?
Well, you know, they got a lot of these multi-car teams out here. You know, they're all get together and they draft real hard. Us being the independent, you know, we kind of struggled. You know, we couldn't get a good draft off anybody, so we got kind of held up behind some of the slower cars. So we're back here in 13th. You know, I think we can work our way back up. You know, it's a little damp out here. We're going to have to see what, you know, have to play the cards we're dealt. So we'll see what happens.
Dean Copeland starts in lucky number 13 today.
Come, Elliot, from the 7th row.
Well, it's a long way. He had such a good run last time. I have a feeling he'll still be able to get towards the front.
Good to have you with us today at Road Atlanta, part of the Walter Mitty weekend. It's a historic sports car event weekend and a great weekend to go racing for the Playboy Mazda MX5 Cup. And a lot to celebrate. Our playmates are here in, retro 60s gear. Kind of remembering this paint scheme, and John Morton, who will drive this MX5 Cup car today.
I sure remember that scheme. I ran against John with that color scheme, and John was really fast.
Pete Brock's team, Brock Racing Enterprises, of course, well known for Nissans in the day, but Mazda kind of borrowing this to honor John and all the history with Pete Brock as well. Elliot, Road Atlanta, one of the great racetracks in North America.
It is, and it's got about everything here. You know, you've got some really fast corners with one, uphills, you've got downhills. The S's is just extraordinary here. And this place has also got a long straightaway here, and even more important than VIR, because the fact at the end of the straightaway you slow down so much because of this new section 10A and B they put in, which wasn't there when we ran in the old days.
More than 3 1/4 miles around here. Great field of Playboy Mazda MX5 Cup machines rolling off pit road, getting set to go racing. Our 45-minute timed event today. Weather has been a question here this weekend. We've had scattered showers, pretty cloudy, nice and warm in the low 70s.
Well, it could be anything, because it looks like the rain is on its way, but on the other hand, it's looked like that quite a bit of the day today. So with any luck at all, it'll just be a nice dry race.
Behind the Mazda safety car, here's your starting lineup. Matthew Pombo puts the 0-1 car on the pole. Justin Fiscatel, the young gun who was the Rookie of the Year in the series a year ago alongside. Lionel Ked, who had success here, was on the pole a year ago, won the season closer, and Nick Evans in row 2. And there's Jarmo Kajian. He'll start 6th.
Yeah, Uri's had a tough, year last year and started out this year. Hopefully they've got the problem with Lionel Kent's car, the electronics fixed so that he doesn't take out both of them this weekend, and they think they've got it fixed, and he's looking forward to a good weekend.
Brad Rampelberg has to start 8th. He won the opener up at VIR. Jeff Mosing, in his second year of the series, lines up 10th. Rest of the field looks like this. Russell Walker, a young guy you have a lot of confidence in, and Dean Copeland back in the next couple of rows there.
Yeah, there's a lot of young guys in this race that we haven't seen before that are really doing a fantastic job. And John Morton, unfortunately, is way back at the back. But, you know, John is a really good driver. If you put him into a prototype car, he'd be on right now. But, you know, getting in one of these cars with the street tires is a lot different.
Well, I know he's done a lot of vintage racing in recent years. Talked to him earlier in the weekend. I know you had a chance to sit down with him before the green, and we'll see some of that a little later in our broadcast. It's been 10 years or more since he ran a pro race. Not an easy thing to do. Your rules of the road.
Yeah, it's, you know, staying in the lead draft is going to be very important here because that's where your passing is going to be done. Now, when I say stay off the curbs, there's some curbs here that will bounce you a long way, and it can also change the alignment on your car a little bit. But getting your car so it can brake late at the end of the straight is going to be one of the very most important things, because that's where the passing zone is here.
Before the pace laps, Derek talked to our pole sitter.
Well, Matt Pombo was very fast last week at VIR, but he faded in the late stages of the race. This week he's at his home track at Road Atlanta. And Matt, what are you doing up at the front of the field?
Well, I feel a little fortunate. We're at my home track. I have a lot of laps around here, so a little hometown advantage. But yeah, VIR, we battled some overheating issues in the draft, and it did affect us a little bit as the race went on. Hopefully we've got those fixed, and we can keep this PFM Pombo Racing Range of Motion Carbotech MX5 up front.
You're one of the few drivers here that doesn't have a team to work with. Are you nervous that guys are going to draft on past you?
Well, yeah, every team's going to work together, but when it gets down to the last 5 to 10 minutes, you go with who's fast, and that's kind of, I try to be respectful to all the teams. I know they do have teams, so I understand that, and I think there could be some benefit at the end if you're respectful to them and work with them during the race. People will always work with you when it's time to hit the checkered flag.
It's a tough deal not having somebody to work with, but I think everybody's going to work with the fastest guy you can, no matter who he is.
Justin Piscatell on the outside. Pombo leads him to the bridge. We are underway. Glad to have you with us. Second race of the season. They're 4 wide, heading to turn 1 in the Playboy Mazda MX5 Cup.
Look like almost 5 there because they're using the grass as well, but boy, that is some traffic there. They're staying clean though. There was no hitting each other by the looks of it, and they made it clean up turn 1 and into turn 2 and 3.
Brian Audette back there leaning on another car, heading up the hill toward the S's. Pombo with a 3-car length advantage over Justin Piscatell. Looks like Lionel Kent is tucked into 3rd.
Boy, it's going to be a good race here. And even if they split up a little bit here, I think it's all going to come back together as soon as they get on the straight and they start picking up that draft.
Young Nick Evans back there as well in that top 4. Pombo in the blue car is out in front early here. And Elliot, we had talked at VIR about how quick he was. As we take a look, looks like pressure being put on Lionel Kent for 3rd spot by Nick Evans here.
Yeah, Nick Evans is doing really a good job all through qualifying and actual practice. He was actually a little faster than he was in qualifying. So I think we have something to look forward for him. And, for a new guy, he's showing a lot of composure and doing a great job.
On board with Lionel Kent from East Tennessee in that Alara Racing entry. Up the backstretch here. This is the longest straight section of this course.
It is, and actually has a downhill right at the end of it where you actually get a little extra run. But you have to be kind of careful because you're running downhill when you're braking, which kind of does not help the braking at all. But I think this will still close up again in a lap or so here.
Pombo, your leader. Piscatell is 2nd. Kent in the yellow car runs 3rd. Top 2 have broken away at least for now, but it probably won't stay that way, will it?
I don't think so, because, it's one of those tracks where it just works out that everybody kind of drafts back up. I think we'll end up with multiple cars in the front draft. Right now, it looks like these guys are getting away, and I think Pombo hadn't been very fast all weekend. And Justin, I think Piscatell is looking for that win that he's been so close to, and he deserves to get it. Maybe it'll come here today.
5th spot in play for the lead. Meantime, Piscatell to the inside of Pombo takes over, heading out of turn 3.
Yeah, and that's a hard place to pass, actually. He got a really good run up 1 to get up far enough to make that pass. But if they start fighting with each other, this will bring the next guys up to them.
In the S's now, Justin Piscatell in that white, blue, and orange trimmed 89 car, the DAMG Motorsports machine. Lionel Kent under attack for 3rd spot.
Boy, heavily under attack. They are side by side coming in here. Lionel's got the inside coming in here, so that'll help him some. Over the curb, he got up onto it, and then he drops behind.
And Nick Evans takes over 3rd. The Team MER cars running 1st and 3rd at the moment. Plenty of side-by-side action. Evans to 3rd, Kent shuffles to 4th, and Michael Cooper sits 5th.